By now, it is clear that both Senate candidates, Democratic Senate candidates in Georgia, they've won the race. They are now senators elect of Georgia, two Democrats, which means the Senate is now completely in Democratic control, in Democratic hands. Now, it is interesting because if one follows the progression of a state like Georgia, you may think that it came a tad bit early, given the constitution of the way the state is constituted right now, given the passions that we've had with President Trump losing, etc. You would think that there would be more passion in the Republican side to make sure that they show up and elect their guy, if you will. But it's interesting because, first of all, the fact that they did so poorly under these circumstances, I think, was best illustrated by David Plouffe, former Obama advisor, who he helped Obama win the election twice. Let's listen to what he had to say, and then we'll take it on the other side.
We know that Ossoff trailed Joe Biden by about 100,000 votes in November. Some of that was folks didn't vote all the way down the ballot, but he also trailed Biden in some of those suburban areas outside of Atlanta. And he's meeting the Biden number or increasing it. And I think what you're seeing is epic political malpractice by Donald Trump. He may cost his party the United States Senate, he and the confederacy of dunces surrounding him, challenging whether votes are legitimate or not. Voters rightly may say, well, if it's all rigged, what does it matter? Number one. Number two, a compelling message might have been, I lost the presidency. The Democrats control the House. Let's not give the Democrats a trifecta. But Trump won't even admit he's lost. Neither will many of his party. So I think he's hurt himself on turnout. I think you have seen meaningful. They may not seem meaningful, but when counties are moving 3 or 4 or 5 points over just a 60-day period from where they were in November, that's significant.
I must admit, I had never heard the phrase the confederacy of dunces before. He must have prepared that before he did the interview. Anyway, it is true that Donald Trump not may have cost them the Senate. He cost them the Senate. He cost them the House of Representatives from the time he came into office. And now he's cost them the presidency. We know Donald Trump is a total failure for his party. Just as Michael Steele has said, he has sealed the tomb of the Republican Party. But that said, Georgia is not now a red state. Georgia is a purple state in transition to a blue state as soon as the governorship is taken over by likely Stacey Abrams in the next few years. Look, if the Democrats get into power along with the progressives in this next 2 years, and they effect change for Americans that they can actually see. In other words, not change for the corporations, not allowing stockholders to have more dividends and have more appreciation of their stocks, but that meat and potatoes get to flow into the hands of people, that people start to see that their savings are increasing, that they're building up more wealth. In other words, that they're not being pilfered by those who believe in unfettered capitalism, that they are there, that we have an economy that works for everybody. That can be done in 2 years. The first part of that, get the stimulus into the hands of the people who are going to immediately spend it. That is going to make the economy go up. Rebuild those small businesses that lost in this pandemic, whose market share was taken away from the big corporations. Put them back into business. Give them that, not a helping hand, give them the required hand of help that was stolen from them by the corporate greed. As Fertitta said here in Houston, a big corporate billionaire magnate, he said, you know what? If you have capital, the pandemic is good for you. If you have capital, when those others frail, I'm paraphrasing, of course, when those other companies frail, we are there to buy it all up on the cheap. So in pandemics and in times of stress, if you have money, I'm sorry, we win. I read that in the Houston Chronicle. I am paraphrasing, of course, but I read that in the Houston Chronicle. And I said, can people see what's really wrong with our economy? Folks, we have to use and make maximal use of having elected Warnock and Ossoff. Progressive activists, this is your time. Progressive activists, it is time to activate not just progressives, it's time to activate America. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.